Red Bull is brimming with confidence about Arvid Lindblad's potential, and they are fast-tracking his journey to Formula One. Although he still needs a super license to compete in F1 events, Red Bull might accelerate the process. They're planning to request a special exception from the FIA to grant Lindblad his super license, similar to the one Antonelli received. But will this move succeed? More importantly, could Lindblad hit the tracks by 2025, especially given Tsunoda's underwhelming performances and the possible race ban of Verstappen? Red Bull seems determined to rush Lindblad's path to F1. The British-Swedish driver's victories in the F2 sprint race in Jeddah and the feature race in Spain only strengthen their resolve. With Verstappen 1 penalty point away from a race ban, Red Bull sees a strong case for challenging the FIA's regulations. However, Helmut Marko emphasised that the push for Lindblad's super licence is unrelated to Verstappen's penalty situation, hoping to clear up any potential confusion. The Austrian team has a clear mission to harness Lindblad's talent early and get him familiar with F1 cars. While he's shown promise, he hasn't yet proven himself in a Red Bull or similar racing car when it really counts. This is why the young driver might soon experience some exciting changes, potentially leading to him racing in F1 by 2025. But what's all the fuss about Red Bull's quest for an exemption? According to the rules, no one under 18 can compete in Formula One, but there are exceptions that might play into Red Bull's hands. One such exception is found in Appendix L of Article 13.1.2, which allows the FIA to grant a super license to a 17-year-old who has consistently displayed exceptional skill and maturity in single-seater car racing. This is similar to how Antonelli got an exemption, allowing him to take part in F1 practice sessions and test drive Mercedes vehicles under TPC regulations before turning 18. Red Bull is hopeful they can groom Lindblad as a future driver, especially in case they need a substitute for Verstappen. But how might this substitution occur? If Verstappen behaves recklessly in the upcoming weekends, he might face penalties. Just one more penalty point on his super license could result in a consequence, although a few of these points will expire on June 30th. Marko mentioned that Verstappen has been advised to avoid actions that could trigger a race ban in the next 2 races, yet knowing Verstappen's style, he's likely to stick to what he does best. This situation has led Red Bull to consider something they hadn't planned for, a potential temporary replacement for Max. Currently, the frontrunner for this unexpected role seems to be Isaac Hadjar. Despite Hadjar flourishing in his current seat with the Racing Bulls, many believe switching to the RB21 is not necessarily a step up. The cars perform in vastly different ways, highlighting that Max might be the only driver capable of pushing the Red Bull car beyond its limits. Meanwhile, Hadjar delivered an impressive qualifying performance in Monaco, matching the best result for a rookie driver since Hamilton's P5 in 2007. Since Tsunoda's departure from the team, the Frenchman has earned them 21 points, doubling the score of his former teammate, who has just 10 points. Hadjar has taken the lead among the Racing Bulls, and even Lawson, after being reinstated to the Italian team and earning 4 points, has struggled to catch the rookie. However, from an unbiased perspective, Lawson might be the best choice for Verstappen's spot for that one notorious weekend. I know exactly what you're thinking. 2 Q1 eliminations in a single weekend are unnecessary, but if you're Red Bull, preparing for potential setbacks is crucial. Expectations wouldn't include leading the race or securing podium finishes, although that would be a bonus for the team. Lawson's prior experience with the RB21 was gained on tracks he was racing on for the first time in his career. In Australia, even Lindblad made an amusing blunder, yet he's now celebrated as the top rookie of the year and possibly one of the finest newcomers in Formula One history. Aside from Tsunoda and Verstappen, Lawson is the sole driver from Red Bull's current lineup who has tried his hand at steering the tricky RB21. Max himself admitted the car is quite a challenge, which is why we should be a bit more understanding of Tsunoda's driving style. However, the team is hungry for success. They need results, and they will relentlessly pursue a driver who can conquer the demanding RB21. Until such a driver emerges, Marko and Horner have to make do with a performer who can deliver exceptional race results that might earn some valuable points, particularly when the Austrian team's standings in the Constructors' Championship seem to be plummeting. But if securing that second driver's seat feels like a long shot, perhaps it's time to think outside the box. This is where Lindblad shines. This talented young driver might just hold the solutions Red Bull is seeking, and they might not even realise it yet. The buzz around a super license exemption has added more fuel to the speculation, with some insiders suggesting that if a racing ban on Verstappen occurs, Lindblad is the top contender to fill his seat. While Red Bull is shrouding their true motives in mystery, their strategy isn't quite working as planned. As they elevate Lindblad, another issue surfaces: the stability of the RB21's second seat. Horner has clearly indicated that Tsunoda must up his game to secure his spot for the next season. In a playful twist, Horner chose to dodge a direct response, taking inspiration from Briatore. He remarked, "It's still early days for Yuki. He's gradually finding his footing, making it to Q3, finishing in the points and even recovering well from challenging starts." Yet, he's had his share of mishaps too, and there's a long road ahead. We'll make our decision in due time. We've got ample time to work with. The key plan right now is to let Tsunoda have the necessary time and backing to build his confidence through the right setup. Confidence makes all the difference when handling these cars, and that's what Tsunoda needs to discover. He's got speed on his side. He just needs to fit all the pieces together. There's no doubt that, like every Red Bull driver who isn't Max Verstappen, Tsunoda will face immense pressure to prove himself in crucial moments. The truth is, the RB21 car has its limitations, and the upgrades seem to benefit only Max. For now, Red Bull operates as a one-man show, and this pattern might not change anytime soon. The pressure on Tsunoda is unmatched, but after spending 5 years with Racing Bulls, dating back to the AlphaTauri days, this is the challenge he's been gearing up for throughout his entire career. At the end of the day, there's always fresh potential waiting to shine, but you can't really judge their abilities until they get behind the wheel of an F1 car. This is exactly the situation with Lindblad. For all we know, he might just be the next Max Verstappen. Based on what Marco and Horner have said, it seems he's on the right track to silence the doubters. Considering all these points, do you believe Lindblad could be the ideal fit for Red Bull if Max faces a penalty? And if not, should they consider switching things up and letting him try out the Racing Bulls car for the rest of the season to see how he does? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.